유형 연습.
Section 2. You will hear the anchor of a radio program discussing urban gardens. First, you have some time to read through questions 1 to 3. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 3.
It's a beautiful morning here in Vancouver, and we at Radio RZZT are pleased to give you an update on the city's Community Focus Program. Sue Butler, chairperson of the Urban Renewal Committee, made an announcement this morning about an urban gardening initiative being launched by the British Columbia provincial government. In order to promote a more sustainable urban lifestyle, the government has developed a plan to set up urban gardens in 3 different communities in the city. Each garden will consist of around 20 plots. Due to the varying composition of the soil, the type of plants grown in each garden will differ for each neighborhood. Firstly, the West End is adjacent to the harbor. The government has recognized that the soil here is poor. So, they have decided that it is most suitable for growing herbs, since these plants are very resilient. They plan to plant basil, thyme, coriander, and a range of other herbs. This neighborhood also has many residents who already pursue growing plants as a hobby. The government plans to provide a vacant lot so that these people can expand their interest by growing herbs. Then you have Mount Pleasant, which they have decided is the most suitable place for growing woodland wildflowers. This area is shady, so they think flowers will thrive here. Additionally, the area has a flower market near Vancouver Community College, and the government intends to allow sellers to grow wildflowers in the Mount Pleasant plot. And lastly, Miss Butler noted that East Hastings' wide-open unused lots will be the most appropriate for growing produce. There is, unfortunately, a lack of affordable grocery stores within this section of our city. So, the government believes that encouraging the growth of produce will provide residents in this neighborhood with easier access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Beyond the obvious benefit of having more greenery in each neighborhood, the gardens can become spaces where the community gathers, increasing social interaction and encouraging a sense of shared responsibility among citizens. For more information on the Urban Gardening Project and details from Miss Butler's press release, you may go to the Urban Renewal Committee's website. Now for a short break before our next program.
Section 2. You will hear a conversation between a radio host and a guest discussing new holiday resorts. First, you have some time to read through questions 4 to 7. Now listen carefully and answer questions 4 to 7.
Good afternoon and thanks for listening to Holiday Talk. Our guest today is travel journalist and reviewer Simon Beattie. He will be discussing some of the new vacation resorts that will be opening this year in the UK, as many holidaymakers are looking to travel locally rather than heading to other destinations that cost more money. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, Simon.
And thank you for inviting me, Audrey.
So, I understand that there are several new holiday resorts that will be launching for the upcoming vacation season.
Yes, there are quite a few new establishments opening up. First, we have the Blue Sands Resort opening in Brighton. It's a great place for young kids as there are lots of activities for them to do. It even has a small amusement park. So if you prefer not being around children, it's probably not the best place for you. It opens in April. Also opening that month is Shores Resort near Bournemouth. This facility has a lot of nightlife and entertainment, so it is more geared to adult tourists. Kids are welcome, but it doesn't sound like there is much for them to do there. Now, the Pealand Hotel and Resorts has just opened to the public. It's got a massive water park and lots of fun activities just for children. However, the resort has specific areas reserved for adults only as well, so there's something for everyone.
And there are lots of other amusement parks and outdoor activities in the area too.
There are, including water sports, hiking trails and beaches. And then we move on to the Zone Fun Beach Resort in Salcombe. Now that facility is geared to university-age travellers. It's got a nightclub, an outdoor stage, and even a floating dance floor, so it isn't particularly recommended for families, and it will be launching in May.
So there are a lot of new options out there. Now, could you tell us a bit about costs?
You now have 15 seconds to check your answers.
Section 3. You will hear a conversation between a tutor and a student about a project on endangered languages. First, you have some time to read through questions 8 to 12. Now listen carefully and answer questions 8 to 12.
Melissa, I've been going through your project's proposal on endangered languages. I think it's a very interesting topic. Can you tell me why did you choose to focus on Native American languages? And what particular languages will you focus on?
Well, it was because they seem to be languages in the most danger of disappearing. So far, the only ones I want to include for sure are the Pawnee language and the Cherokee language.
Good. There is lots of information out there about the Cherokee, so definitely use that. But keep in mind that Professor Johnson wants you to provide detailed graphs about the phonetics of the endangered languages you choose to research. Because Pawnee only has 9 different consonant sounds, it might not be the best candidate for such detail.
Right. I forgot about that. I thought it would be good to include Pawnee as there's so much reference material on it. Okay, I'll leave that one out.
Another language I'd suggest is that of the Kashaya people of the American Pacific Coast. They have over 40 distinct consonants, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I would have researched the Kashaya language, but I checked it out before, and it has a very limited number of vowel sounds. But you're right. It might be a good one to study just because of sound variety. If there isn't a better idea, I'll do it.
Okay. What about the Menominee people's language? Their language had about 12 different vowels as well as a similar number of consonants.
I don't think I'll use that one because I couldn't find enough data.
Well, another option is the Algonquin Native American tribe from northwestern Wisconsin and Michigan. Their language had about 12 different vowels as well as some diphthongs plus a similar number of consonants. It is very similar to the Menominee language, but there's a lot more information on the Algonquin tongue out there.
Oh, well, it will be easier to research. I'll do that.
Good. Anyway, that will give you a good start. Now, what you need to do is revise your proposal.
You now have 15 seconds to check your answers.